Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a Sephora and Ulta haul follow-up video. So whenever I'm trying out new makeup or hauling new products, I will always come back after I've tried everything out and let you know my full thoughts on them. So I'll have the video linked down below with my haul if you haven't seen it. It's from about a month ago, but if you want to see my full reviews on these products, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so I made a purchase from Ulta Beauty, and one of the reasons that I was so excited and wanting to make the purchase is because the Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera palette had just released. So if you haven't seen, I've talked about this palette a bit on my channel. I included it in an eyeshadow palette ranking video, and I also included it in yesterday's video, I believe it's going to be, and that is talking about products I regret buying. So clearly I'm not a big fan of this palette. So I've mentioned that it's really just the color scheme inside that's getting to me. I think this palette is fine quality. The brush I didn't think was great, but the actual like eyeshadows in here, the important part, I think the quality is really good on this. I really like a lot of Anastasia palettes. That was a big reason why I wanted to purchase this one. And I think I just got caught up in the hype of like, oh my gosh, it's a colorful palette, how fun. And then I was like, but girlfriend, you don't really go for a lot of colorful looks. Like, what were you thinking? Type of thing. So unfortunately, this one has just been a struggle for me to use. I don't have the most visual mind, so I've just been really quite struggling with this eyeshadow palette. So unfortunately, especially at the $45 price tag, this one did not work out the best for me. I did purchase another item from Anastasia. That was her Dewy Set. This guy, I believe, was $26, so it was a setting spray and it was supposed to leave you more dewy. There's not any actual glitter in it. I think the actual packaging kind of threw people off at first. There's no actual glitter to it, but it does leave you pretty darn dewy. The cap here is one that you just twist back and forth. I don't know, I think it's fine. The spray, you can't really see it the best on camera. The spray has a bit of an oomph to it, but it's not anything too like overpowering or too overwhelming, but it's also not my favorite spray. I like something that's just a little bit more, I don't know, not necessarily like a fine spray, but just like maybe more of an even spray, because sometimes it is a little like, you're like, wow, okay, like thank you so much. Like I said, it does leave you quite dewy, so I like that. I do have dry skin. A lot of times I try to use a lot of like glowy products to kind of get that glow that I prefer, but if I feel like I still want it to be a little bit more amped up, I can go for the Dewy Set. So I've been trying it out for a few weeks now. I feel like I've only put a small dent into it, but I don't feel like you need a lot. I feel like you get a lot of product with each spray that you use. So I feel like it'll probably last a good amount of time because I've tried this several times over and I like it, but I don't think I necessarily love it. I don't think it's going to be a new favorite setting spray of mine. I have other ones that I prefer, and I really do like setting sprays to kind of like melt in my makeup, make things look a little bit more natural, especially if I've used a lot of powders and that sort of thing. So I like that this gives me that dewy look, because a lot of times that is what I'm trying to achieve, but just not a favorite of mine. I don't see it replacing like the MAC Fix Plus. I really like the Urban Decay All Nighter or like the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. I think those are still going to be my favorites, but I think it's decent. Like, I'll continue to use it. I don't think it's doing anything adverse to my skin. Just not necessarily a favorite of mine, and that's a little, that's a little bit on the high side for a setting spray. So those are my thoughts on the Dewy Set. And I do have two complexion products here. This one is the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. This is $5, so that's a fantastic price. I was really excited to test this out. A lot of brands are coming out with new concealers, and I've been trying to test a few out, and a lot of people were saying pretty good things about the Camo Concealer. So you have kind of the oversized doe foot here. I will say the first time that I tried this, I had like a weird reaction on my skin, and the next time I went to try it was in a get ready with me video, and I was like, I'm really concerned. I don't know, I don't really want to use this, but I have to see if that's what happened. Maybe it was a different product, maybe it was just like maybe it was just something weird happened, I don't know. And I left a pinned comment on that video saying everything was good, I didn't have a weird reaction, and I've tried this out several more times and I've not had anything like that happen. So I don't know, maybe it was just something funky, maybe it was something with my skincare, I'm not sure, but it was just kind of like right here, so that's why I zoomed in on the concealer right away, and it was the first time I was trying it out, so I was like, I don't know, maybe it was something with that. But I haven't had any other reactions with this one, and I actually do quite enjoy it. One thing that I'll say about it is that it picks up a lot of product, and you get a lot on the applicator here, so it is very easy to go too overboard with this one. So if you get it, I suggest going light-handed and adding more if you need it, because there has been several times that I have applied this kind of like I would with like any other concealer, and I have way too much on. I'm like, oh no. So a little bit goes a very long way with this concealer, but I quite like it. It's not the most hydrating, and I prefer a hydrating concealer. It's not the most, like the Too Faced Born This Way, but I don't think that it's dry either, and I really do like the coverage on it. It makes my under eyes look nice and smooth. I haven't really had any issues with this one, minus the first time I used it when it turns out it wasn't this, and it's only $5. I see myself getting a lot of use out of this. I have been traveling a lot. I'm actually filming this video on Thursday, and I think this one's going up on Monday. I have been traveling almost this entire week, and this has been in my travel bag all week long, so I really like it. I like the coverage on it. I like the way it feels. I like the way it looks. And again, especially for the $5, I think that's a pretty price tag. So really quite liking that one from e.l.f. I would recommend that one. So I also have this foundation from L'Oreal. This is the Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. I actually ended up purchasing this one from CVS, I'm pretty sure. And in my original Ulta video, this one isn't included, and I have a mascara that I'll be reviewing, but I went to CVS and I also went to Ulta after I'd already done that haul, and I picked up a few more items, so I included it in the trying new makeup video, so I will also link that one. But I picked this one up from CVS. It's about $15. It does have a pump on it here, and the shade that I got was in 450. So this does have SPF of 25, and I wanted to pick this up because I've heard so many people just raving about this foundation, and a lot of people were saying to me, you know, a lot of you guys were saying, I think that you would really like this one. I do have more dry skin. I also prefer more of like a natural finish foundation. So as the reviews were coming in, people were letting me know, hey, I think that you're really going to like this one. So I wasn't able to find it at Ulta. I was also having a lot of issues with trying to shade match because they didn't have a lot of great information online of like what the shades were like, what the undertones were like. So I finally was able to go to my CVS and pull out some bottles and really look at them and try to see which shade would be best for me. I do like this shade. I think that it is a good match for me. Usually in these videos when I'm following up, I try to have like the majority of products on my face, so I apologize that I don't today. This look is actually from Friday's video, which is my get ready with me using my Shop My Stash from May, but because of my schedule and because I am out of town so much this week, this is actually my third video that I'm filming today, and I just simply don't have the time to wash everything off and then reapply with these products. But like I said, I do have the get ready with me using these down below if you want to see how they apply, and I've been wearing them a lot throughout these YouTube videos as well. But generally I'll try to do that so I can say, you know, this is what I have on today. But just if I want to keep putting out videos, I had to try to film as many as I could today, so then I can be editing them when I am away from my house. So hopefully that makes sense. But for this foundation, so good. Thank you for the recommendations. Thank you for convincing me to get it, because this released a little bit ago, and you know, sometimes when you're on YouTube, it's like you kind of try to buy the newer things just because that seems to be what people are really interested in. So I was like, should I still buy this? You know, I don't know if people are going to get anything out of my review, but I'm really glad that I did, because that aside, I'm just really happy that I have this foundation in my collection. This foundation gives a really beautiful natural finish, which like I said is what I prefer. It just makes your skin look nice. It makes your skin look healthy. It makes your skin just, oh, I just really appreciate when I wear this foundation. I think my skin looks really good. I also think that it holds up really well. I was out of town a couple weekends ago for a wedding, and this is the foundation that I wore, and I put it on at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I didn't take it off until 1 a.m. and I thought my face looked so good. I didn't do any touch-ups at all throughout the night because I simply just didn't have the time to. I was, you know, just having fun with family, and this one holds up so well. So I have been really impressed with the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. Thank you for the recommendations. I would recommend it as well. Again, I have dry skin and I just love the natural finish foundations, and this one I think is a winner. But like I said, I have a mascara also. This is from Milani. This is the highly rated mascara. I was in Ulta, you know, like I said, I'd already done that haul, and I was browsing. I was looking for something, and I stumbled upon this, and I remembered my friend Ashley Clady saying how much she really liked this mascara, and I was like, I'm gonna pick that up and try it out. This is a really nice mascara. I can't say that it turned into an absolute favorite of mine, but I really like it, and I would still recommend it. I have pretty darn short, just really nothing to write home about kind of lashes, so sometimes I like my mascara to give just a little bit more of an oomph, but this one is really nice for just kind of like an everyday sort of mascara. It's nice and black, and I think that it does pretty good things for length and a little bit of volume in there, and I don't really have anything like negative to say about the mascara. I think it does really well holding up. I don't get a lot of flaking with this one or transfer, which I can deal with, especially on my bottom lashes. So I think that this one holds up really well, which is awesome. I'm really happy about that. So it's like, I don't have anything really negative to say about this mascara, but at the same time, it's not going to be an absolute favorite of mine because I like my mascaras with just a little bit more of an oomph, like just a touch more of an oomph. But you know, it's Milani, it's a little bit more on the affordable side as well. And yeah, again, the highly rated mascara, I think this is a pretty good option and I'm glad that I have it. The item that I purchased from Ulta Beauty was this Dose of Colors lip liner, and this was in Undressed. I have gone a little bit back and forth on this one because I couldn't really decide what I was thinking about it. So Dose of Colors just recently released lip liners and also eyeliners, and I heard Babs Beauty say really good things about the lip liner, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try it out. I picked up the shade Undressed, which I believe is described as a nude beige, and the first time I tried it, I really like the shade. I mean, nude beige, that's totally me all the way. So I really do like that. But when I was first applying it, I was like, okay, it's not as creamy as I normally like my lip liners to be. And it's not that it was necessarily tugging at my lips, but I just felt like it wasn't gliding on as smoothly as some of my other ones like ColourPop and Bite Beauty. So I was like, I don't know how I'll feel about this. So I lined my lips and I filled them in, and I also noticed when I did that, my lips were actually a little bit sticky for a while. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna think about this lip liner. Like, we'll just have to see. The first time that I wore it, I got ready on camera. I went to a concert that night. I wore this and a lip gloss that I will talk about in a second. This lip liner held up so well. I was like, dang, that's actually really impressive. So I tried it again, and this is an extremely long wearing lip liner. So I think maybe sometimes it's just kind of like you have to pick and choose. Sometimes with creamier lip liners, they go on easier and they're a little bit easier to apply, but maybe they don't have the best longevity, like not necessarily the worst, but not necessarily the best. Maybe you have to touch up. With this one, when you apply it, you are done. Like I honestly feel like for a lip liner, you do not have to reapply this one. So that's pretty cool. So especially when I'm doing things where I'm going to be out for a long time and maybe I don't know if I'll be touching up concerts, weddings, that sort of thing, I keep reaching for my Dose of Colors. Maybe if I'm just doing something for a couple hours, no big deal, you know, then I can reach for a different lip liner that's going to be a little bit easier to apply, but maybe won't last as long on the lips. Does that make sense? So I actually really do like this one. And again, this has been in my travel bag this past week as well. And I really do quite enjoy it. So I would recommend the Dose of Colors lip liners if that sounds like something that you're good with. Alrighty, and then I just had 2 items that I purchased from Sephora, but of course wanted to review them here. So the lip gloss that I made reference to is this one from Bite Beauty. This is the flat white lip gloss. This is $22. I really wanted to pick this up. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about these lip glosses in general, and I've heard a few recommendations for flat white, again from Ashley Clady and also from Samantha Ravndal. I heard her recommend it also, so I picked up flat white. I've been wearing this a lot recently. I really do like this lip gloss, and it's interesting to me because once again, I kind of wasn't sure about this one at first. You don't get a lot of product on the applicator, so you definitely have to go in multiple times to apply to the lips. So that part isn't necessarily my favorite. I do kind of like the applicator. It's a little bit tilted and it has more of like the sharp tip there, but usually with lip gloss, I'm not being like super precise. I'm usually just kind of putting it in the middle of my lips. And then with this one, I actually take my finger and I usually blend it into whatever lip liner I'm wearing that day. Because this one, when I apply it, it almost kind of does that goopy thing like in the center of my lips. But if I just take my finger and blend it out and blend it into the liner, then it looks a lot better. So it's like one that it's not necessarily like the easiest lip gloss, because a lot of my glosses are just like boop, 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 done, you're ready to go. This one takes a little bit more time, and then I kind of have to blend it out too. And I don't think that this one lasts a long time either. Like lip gloss is not a long product that's going to last on your lips, right? Like we don't really get longevity with lip gloss, which is fine. But I've noticed with other lip glosses, they at least kind of stick around for a little bit. This one tends to fade pretty quickly. So I know that if I'm wearing it out, I actually really like to pair this with the Dose of Colors, because I at least know the lip liner is going to stay. And then I just kind of have to throw this into my clutch and remember to reapply. So I feel like it has pros and cons, but I actually still do like it. Do I think it's going to be for everybody? No. And so hopefully, you know, something I said there would kind of help you decide if you'll like it or not. But it's like one of those that like I kind of can't stop wearing, and I'm really glad that I have it. But again, it's not like I'm not absolutely raving about it, but I still like it. I don't know. This one's kind of a weird one. But that's kind of my thoughts on it. Does that make any sense at all? This one threw me through a loop for a little bit, but I've realized that even though I have other lip glosses that I really like and really enjoy, I do kind of keep reaching for this one. So I'm like, clearly I do like it. It just has a few of those cons in there. But I still think that it's a good one. Okay, all right, let's move on. Last product. This one here is from Olehenriksen. This is the Banana Bright Face Primer. So I was super curious about this one. This is $36. I really like this brand. I have a lot of skincare products from them. So when I saw this come out, it says it has vitamin C and banana powder inspired pigments. So they were kind of saying that you can use it, you know, kind of like a skincare too. You can use it by itself and it has these like good ingredients for your skin. Obviously you can use it as a primer. It's supposed to be more brightening. I really do enjoy vitamin C in my skincare. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and purchase it and see what I think. So it also has a pump on it. It has the really nice scent. It reminds me of like the Sea Rush gel creme from Olehenriksen, which I actually just finished up pretty recently. So I like the scent of it, and it gives a nice healthy glow to the skin. I don't really wear this one on its own because I don't notice that much of a difference with it. If I'm using a primer, like if I'm having a no makeup day but I want a primer to kind of give me like this really nice glow, I tend to go with the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow because I think that one's really beautiful. This one doesn't give me quite enough oomph, so I've mostly been using this as a primer underneath makeup, and I like it. It's not my absolute favorite primer. I don't think everybody has to run out and get it, but I don't think that it's a bad product. I do think it is a little bit pricey for a primer at the $36, and I do wish that I would have loved it a little bit more. There's been some new primers that are being released recently, and I've been trying a few ones out. I really like some from First Aid Beauty. I think that they're really good, and I've noticed myself going towards them more than I have with this one. So again, I wish I would have liked it a little bit more, but again, it's kind of one of those where I don't really have anything super negative to say about it. I think the foundations look nice on top of it. But I don't know, it's just not a primer that absolutely blew me away that I was like, thank goodness I purchased this. I'm just like, okay, yeah, like that's nice to have in my collection. So those are my thoughts on this one from Olehenriksen. And then after that, that's gonna wrap it up for this Sephora and Ulta haul follow-up video. Let me know what you thought of my reviews on these products. What have you tried out, or what maybe are you interested in? I would love to know. But if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video.